Hey, what's up guys and gals? Sanitary 103, thanks for watching again another video. So in today's important video, I wanted to emphasize how important and how critical your diet is when trying to get the body that you most desire. Now, everybody knows that diet and exercise go hand in hand. You gotta exercise and you gotta eat right. This is not earth-shattering news, everybody knows this. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people, they fall into this trap and they have this misconception that as long as they hit the gym or as long as they do some type of physical activity, that they can basically have an excuse to have a diet that's not so great. And then they end up wondering why their body looks the same after an entire year. Now, if you get an annual checkup at your doctor's office and you're getting good physical activity and you're pretty content with your body, that's completely fine. I have no qualms about that. It's better than just sitting on the couch. But if you truly want to get the actual aesthetic body that you most desire, your diet has to be a priority. And I think a lot of newbies / beginners fall into this trap, and it's not their fault. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this video. So I did something a little bit new. I actually got some butcher paper. I feel like I'm back in high school, just to give you a different angle / perspective on this whole matter. Like I mentioned, a lot of people overlook how important your diet is. And on top of that, they also overlook what you do outside of the gym. It's making those wise food choices outside of the gym when no one's looking where the results are gonna be yielded. So with that being said, I'm probably gonna go a little bit off camera because I don't wanna get it cut off, so I'm gonna try to speak up. So I did a little example right here, and this number is gonna be subjective, but I would say, for 100% of the pie right here, diet is it's probably like at least 75 to up to like 90% of the battle. Exercise is about 10%, okay? So right here I got the pie right here. I got the diet right here that's making up the majority of the pie. And then I have the exercise. And right here, I have 24 hours in one day, okay? Obviously. That comes out to 168 hours in a week. And then right here underneath, so I did a little example now. I work out about 4.5 hours a week. When I tell people that, some people get shocked and say, oh, you only go 3 times a week for an hour and a half? And I say, yes, I don't have to do 6, 7, 8 hours of cardio. That's because my diet's a little bit in check. So I use myself as an example. I rounded up to 5. So let's say you work out 5 hours an entire week. So right here, I did a little calculation. So 5 hours divided by, for an entire week, 5 hours divided by 168 hours. That comes out to, and I rounded up even so right here, to about 3%. So of the 168 hours in the entire week, I'm only at the gym about 3%. Now some of you guys might be saying, well, what about sleeping? Well, I took that into account as well. Let's say you go to sleep 8 hours a day. 8 times 7, an entire week, that's 56 hours. That's still 5 divided by 112. And you know what that comprises of? That only goes up to about 4.5%. So what does all this mean? This basically means that when you're working out really hard, it's only a small fraction of the entire workday, the entire day in general. This isn't to say that exercise is not important, because that's the message that I'm absolutely not trying to get across. You want to maximize your time when you're at the gym, and or if, let's say, you're a distance runner, you're just trying to trim some pounds. Whatever type of physical activity you do, when you work out, you want to make it count, because it's only a small fraction, like I mentioned. You're only going to be about 3 or 4%, and even if you're working out like 6 or 7 hours a week, which probably I don't really recommend unless you're training for a marathon or you're an Ironman type athlete or a distance runner, that's only going to still comprise, maybe 4 or 5% of an entire week's worth of 168 hours. So just remember that if you're consistently working your butt off at the gym and or running outside, that's really commendable. But if you're not getting the desired results that you want, if your body still looks the same, it's definitely got to be attributed to your diet. If this pertains to you, try not to get discouraged, because at least you're working out. That's a great start. But if you really want that body, you got to clean up the diet. You got to remember that a lot of the results are occurring outside of the gym when you're resting. Think of working out and or going to the gym to work out as like your dirty work. You're doing all the dirty work, and it really is true. For example, let's say you're lifting weights, you're trying to put on muscle. As you're working out, that's not when you're building the muscle. You're creating those little micro tears within your muscles, and then when you have a good diet, when you recover, when you get good sleep. It's what you do outside of the gym when people aren't looking. That's where you're gonna start recovering. That's where you're gonna start building muscle. The ultimate end result is getting the body that you most desire by working out really hard, getting the most out of that short amount of time when you work out, but then also really putting an emphasis on the diet, eating right, hitting your macros, being really disciplined. And let's be real, we're all human, so it's good to have a cheat meal once in a while, but not allowing that cheat meal to turn into a cheat day. That's about it, guys. Hopefully this video gave you a new perspective / fresh outlook on how important the diet is. And that's the reason why I want to do this diagram, because a lot of people are visual learners, and when you see 168 hours in a week, and then you see the amount that you spend outside of the gym, you're outside of the gym the majority of the time, so that's where the results are going to come for the most part. So it only makes sense. Comments and questions are always welcome. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for all the latest in diet, health, and fitness if not already. I put out at least 2 to 3 new videos per week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.